So friends, we already talked about JUnit. Now let's reiterate some of the basics of JUnit, that some of the things we have already talked about and some of the few things we will discuss again. Okay. So as you already know, JUnit is a we already created some JUnit. So basically JUnit is a tool which is used to do unit testing. It provides us with many annotations and assertions which enable us to write a unit test in an efficient way. So it is an open source library. So whenever you want to set up JUnits, I already showed you earlier as well. The first thing that you need to do is you need to add the dependencies. So I think I already showed you that these two dependencies are required. Okay. This the Spring Boot starter test dependency is sufficient. So I already showed you that this Spring Boot starter dependency is sufficient to enable JUnits in your project. And you already know that we have this test annotation whenever we write a particular test in a JUnit, and using this annotation only the IDE and the Maven plugin identifies this method as a JUnit test, and then it is able to run it as well. So now there are some assertions and some annotations that JUnit library provides us. So let's try to understand them. So the annotations are, the first one in question is the test annotation. We already talked about this. So it marks a method as test. Okay. Then we have BeforeEach. So this runs the method on which it is annotated before each test. Okay. Similarly, we have afterEach. This runs the method after each test. Similarly, we have this runs the method once before all the tests. Similarly, it has after all. This runs the method once after all the tests. Okay, so these are the common methods that are used in writing a JUnit. And apart from methods, JUnit also provides us with some assertions, very useful assertions. So the useful assertions are equals v1 v2. So it checks if v1 is equal to v2. If not, it will give an assertion error. Okay. So similarly, we have assert. So it will check if v1 is not equal to v2. Otherwise, it will give an assertion error. Similarly, we have assertTrue boolean. It will check v1. It will check if v1 is equal to true or not. Okay. Similarly, we have assertFalse. This will check whether v1 is equal to false or not. Then we have assertNull. This will check whether v1 is equal to null or not. Okay. And we have assertNotNull. Okay. So this will check whether v1 is not equal to null or not, or it will throw an assertion error. Okay. So these are the useful assertions that the JUnit library gives us. So let's now see code example for few of them. So if you see this code, this is the same calculator class. This is the same calculator class here, and this is the same calculator test here. Okay, this is the same calculator class. Now here we have added these methods: before all, after all, before each, and after each. Okay, so before all will be called once before starting all the tests. So here we are initializing this calculator object here. So we are not creating new calculator object everywhere. We have initialized it once. And then after all, we are destroying the calculator reference. So we are setting it to null. And we have created a reset method. Suppose in an imaginary situation, our calculator needs to reset every time to do a new calculation. Okay, so we need to call reset. So in before each, now before each will be run after each of these unit tests. So every time the test is done, it will call the reset and then it will execute the next test. Okay, so let's try to visualize this. So I will run the test in debug mode so that you can see. Okay, so I am debugging the test. So you see, first absolutely at the beginning before all is called. Okay, after that before each is called, so it will call the reset method. You can see that the flow has gone to the reset method, resetting the calculator. It has printed. Now it is running the multiplication test. First of all, first test which is running is a multiplication test. So it will go in the multiply method. It has tested the multiply method. Now it is going in after each. So it is again in after each as well. We are calling the reset method. It will again go in the reset. Okay, now it is going in the reset for before each, which means that it is now trying to run this test. So now it is calling the add method. Again it is calling after each. Now it is calling reset, which is present in after each. So this is how the request flows. First of all, initially before all, then before each, then the actual test, then after each, and after all when eventually the processing ends. Okay, so if we run it many times, we will see that finally after each, we will see that after all is called at the end of the test, when the test is actually ending. So this is the useful annotations that JUnit provides. And we have used some of the assertions. For example, we have used assertEquals. We have given expected value and actual value, and it is asserting, and it will print this message if the assertion fails. Okay, similarly we are using assertEquals and here we are using assertTrues. So when we divide by 0, this code expects an arithmetic exception, and if this exception is not thrown, then it will give an assertion error. But if the exception is thrown, which is the ideal situation, it will not give any assertion exception. Okay, so we have imported these annotations here, and we have imported these assertions here. Okay, so this is the basics of JUnit. In the next section, we will learn about some advanced features of JUnit.